Should be good to go. Yep.
Okay.
So we'll call the Board of Commissioners back into session. Commissioners Barron, Stanley, and Commissioner Decker present. We have concerned citizens, I think, that would like to discuss a piece of county property with us. It's not an action item, so it's just discussion and see if we can come up with some kind of resolution moving forward. So anyhow, if you folks would identify yourselves for the record, and then I'm gonna let you take over with your discussion.
Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Bert Risley and I live on Songbird, on the north end of Swan Lake. And
I'm Rochelle Risley, and I live with him. Presenter things now. Just one.
Yeah, so
Okay.
go ahead with
So what's happening here is we live on one of the two canals that are up in that part of the woods. And, we've lived there for almost 25 years. And the canal that we're on, is starting to silt in so bad that, in late August, we can't even, it's hard to even get a canoe out of there or a kayak. So we have started the process of applying for a 310 permit to remove some of the silt that's in there, like 2 or 3 feet is all. We don't want to make a large waterway out of it, but we want to be able to get our boats in and out at least for a few more months of the year, if not year round, but it freezes over, so it doesn't really matter. So we started this process of the 310 permit, and as part of filling out the application, we have to describe what we're going to do with the sediment, or I guess silt is what they're referring to it as. And we've had 4 people out that have started looking into doing that for us, but they can't find a dump site for it that's close. So there's 4 people, 4 families on this waterway, and we've kind of come to the conclusion that we've got to, well, there's a piece of county property that's right across the street from where we are. It's probably like 150 yards or so from the waterway. And that piece of property, along with many other properties, has been devastated about 2 years ago by the power company hiring a tree company to basically clear the easements. And your property, the county property, has got a big indentation in it with a bunch of debris from what they did. I've over the years, last couple of years, I've cleared out a lot of the wood and piled it up, and people have come by and taken it away. And so we're just trying to beautify the area a little bit. But our main purpose here is to see if there was any way that the county could see that we could use this indentation to put some of this silt. There are benefits to the county, just in the fact that you folks have that piece of property right next to us, and it's public access, and they're part of that waterway too, and they have the same problems we do getting in and out. So we thought if we could get that cleared, it would be better for all. So I have pictures here if you wanted to look at, what the area that I'm talking about. And
Yeah,
Are you familiar with that property?
I was up there. The years go by so fast.
Mhm,
Within the past 5 years,
right,
we went up and took a look at the piece of county property. Because there had been a landowner, there's a tree on the county property that was leaning heavily over their house.
that's
That's
us.
that.
That's you folks, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we were up there, took a look at it, looked at the canals. And I don't remember specifically what were the canals constructed for. I mean,
Oh, they were done, I don't know for sure the story, but it had to do with the lumber company that was in there, Stoltz. And I think it was back in the seventies, they cut our canal and the canal just to the south of us. And, I think that they were trying to make the properties more appealing, more lakefront, you know, which they really aren't lakefront, but, and they've been that way ever since, you know. Um,
But the other canal has been dredged.
the other canal, about 15 years ago, they applied for a permit and they got it, and they had a dredge. It's way wider than ours and way deeper. And, you know, they bring boats in and out of there all the time,
Okay.
even though it's starting to fill in on them now too.
Could I get your address?
Yeah, it's 29071 Songbird.
You want me to bring it up on the big computer, Bill?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you were up there 5 years ago, you didn't get a chance to see what that logging company did to
No,
that area.
no,
I mean,
there was,
it is absolutely devastated.
They took out so many more trees than necessary, and so now that whole corner, well, like I said, we have pictures showing that all the trees are gone from that area.
And they just let them fall and left them there, you know, it was up to the property owners to take care of them, you know, which the county, it doesn't do. And so we were trying to make it a little bit cleaner by cutting and stacking it, and a lot of people came back and got it. The only wood that's left on there, they're calling it like, they don't like to burn it, call them piss fir or something.
What's your address again?
29071.
yeah, it's kind of been, seems like more of a recent, practice or whatever, the Mission Valley Power, they'll come in and clean the right of way, but you clean, as the landowners, you clean up the mess.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll come in and cut it down or whatever, and then they walk away from it. They used to do a lot of chipping and,
Oh, really?
you know, getting rid of the debris, but they don't do it anymore.
Yeah, and they did it during the winter time. We didn't even know what was happening. You know, we came in there in June and to our surprise.
They, told us I called Flathead Electric and, asked them because they left big, you know, stubs on our property, and they did come back and clear it off. And I said, well, what about, they said it's your responsibility to clean up your place. But then we said, well, what about the county? And they said, well, that's the county's responsibility to clean up the space, you know? So that's where we-
Yeah, it's an issue that we have. We have, you know, numerous county-owned properties, but we don't have the financial wherewithal to have, you know, a crew of people that just go through and maintain, clean up these county properties.
Right.
We do mow some of them. There's like mowing areas and whatever, but, you know, we have a lot of county properties that could use a lot of maintenance. We did some out on Finley Point, some fuel reduction
Mhm.
here in the last year or so, but like I say, I don't know if we really know how many county properties we actually have.
Yeah, and I understand that, all that, and that's why I didn't even bother to contact you. I just figured I wouldn't try to clean this up because,
That's small.
Yeah, Commissioner Stanley had, our GIS department kind of look up the Swan properties over in that area and,
Well, I am wondering about the property next to us, that has the leaning tree. Is that, because they do have like a spot to get on the water, lake access and all that. So I'm wondering if that property is some kind of a park. And then they have parking on this island we're talking about for people to go on the lake.
right,
So is this like a different piece of property of counties, like a designated lakefront or recreational, or who's in charge of the property? And then, like I mentioned to Kate at one time, Kootenai Woods was leasing it, but then you haven't heard anything like in 10 years or so.
I think the
about
last time we talked to Bill about it, and then he said that they had a lease on it, but hadn't made a payment on it in 10 years. And they also had an agreement to maintain the property to a certain extent, and they've never done anything. It's a real fire hazard.
and that's happened, with several other properties. The homeowners association will agree to do the maintenance, well, then 20 years later, the homeowners association, the original folks a lot of them are gone, moved
Right.
away, and, so then,
it is used a lot by the public, though.
is it?
Oh, yeah, they bring their canoes and kayaks and paddle boards. It's very popular.
Oh,
And
They
they
bring
do
their
park.
dogs down there and let them swim.
Yeah, and they do park, yeah, especially
now
for
there
dogs.
was a kid toilet up there too, is that still there?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
not very pretty.
No, it's not very pretty.
It wasn't very pretty. back in the day.
Well, I'll tell you what, last time I looked at it up there,
You wouldn't have
I
go.
wouldn't have, yeah.
No, no.
So the
So-
problem with that silt that's in there too is that, as soon as a dog gets in there, the whole thing just turns to mud, and it stirs up and then gets out into the lake and that would be another benefit.
So the one canal is down there at the bottom, right?
Right, that's the larger one I was
And
talking
that's
to you
the one
about.
that's been dredged,
Right,
and then yours is the other one there.
and, along about August, the end of August, that waterway that you see gets to be about this wide. And it's about this deep. It just, when the lake subsides, that's what happens to it. And then in the wintertime, there's maybe just enough ice on there, and it's only about that deep.
I wonder, there's probably no way to estimate how many cubic feet or yards that would be taken out of there.
That's one of the problems, it seems like all the people that we've talked to that have come out, they want to know, their main concern is the dump site itself, and then they were gonna try to give us an estimate on how much they would be taken out.
Yeah,
Like I say, we're in submitting this permit, we're just trying to get rid of the silt that came over the original, excavation or whatever it was.
right.
And, it'll probably make it a couple of feet deep and maybe 3 or 4 feet wide is all we're trying to do, so we can get things out of there.
So do we know kind of, an estimate where this little,
Divot is.
indentation
or whatever might be, where we,
Yes, that picture obviously is a little bit old because it shows trees, but if you, I could,
You want the mouse?
yeah, maybe. I don't even know how to do this.
Well, that will.
Anyway, the corner that I have the pictures of is right here, this corner right here. It's completely devastated. All the trees are out of there, and this is our home right here.
okay,
And so the pictures that I can show you, are for this area right here. So you can see it's real close. We just have to go up
right,
the driveway and fill in there. Right across from our house, ever since we've been there, there is kind of a little site where somebody originally put some soil, and that's what the public uses for a parking lot for when they want to access, your county land. And,
And also this spot here is real popular for parking. They park there, they park there,
yeah,
and use the
but,
waterway.
you know, our idea was to fill this in, and like you say, you brought up a good point. We don't know how much we're talking about. But if we could somehow fill this spot in or start filling it in and
Put native plants in.
some native grass in there or something like that, it would certainly look a lot better than it did. I don't think we'd have enough to build up to where it's built up where they park now. That would be
Right.
a
You
lot.
want to see the picture of the?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I was wondering if we could share it.
Oh, okay. You know
I-
more about that kind of shit.
they're pretty techy, that's why we keep them around.
All right.
I thought I could probably email it, but I'm not even sure.
Yeah, I think we could. I was just trying to see if we had a way here.
And there's a picture of the canal too.
So all of that material would be deposited on the county land.
Yes, that was our idea that, you know, it's very convenient for us, and it would cause a lot less, property damage too, going in and out or wherever we have to go up our road, which,
Yeah, I imagine a contractor would have
all this
a little
would,
bit of an issue of finding a place where they can dispose of it.
and all this would be done in the wintertime when the ground is frozen, and, that's kind of the procedure that they used on doing that lower canal, and it worked out pretty well that and the water is not only low, and what they do is they dam both sides of the canal, and then they pump the water out,
Oh,
and
okay.
then it all freezes.
Come on.
And then there's a picture of the canal right now.
I don't know if it's gonna come through here. I'll just pass it through the line.
So you can see there's some stumps there where they just clear cut the whole thing. And like I said, there used to be a lot more debris in there. And we would be willing to move that old debris out and get rid of it somehow if that had to be part of the process.
You can see it's right along the road there.
Yeah. So I wonder if is that a county maintained road, Songbird?
No, it is not.
No,
Okay.
we don't even have it listed as a road.
Oh,
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. That's,
I know, about 2 years ago, one of the property owners, wanted to get the postal company to come down there. And they wouldn't do it because it was in such bad shape. So we ended up graveling the road and smoothing it out. And there was some discussion with the county on it to have, because one of the road maintenance crews is right across the street on 83. Anyway, it was determined there was no way that the county was gonna pay for any of that. So we did it all but now it's getting eaten up a little bit again. But the mail is delivered.
Yeah, mail delivered.
Oh, there it finally came through.
Oh,
Oh, it came through?
Yeah, one of them did anyways.
We have, meetings with folks right now. I mean, the land, all of our stuff up there needs to be addressed.
So then that's all
Okay,
debris left from the right of way
From
that the flathead electric cleared.
Right. And it was stacked, there was just a whole layer on top of that, of
thanks.
burnable,
Right.
logs, the fuel, yeah, okay. But the people who were there last said, we don't want to burn that. It's not good to burn.
did you want to see a picture of the canal?
I showed him, I went through, so you had the connect, was that Oh, maybe I didn't see the canal. Never mind, I didn't. I just saw these right here. So you can, if you wanna,
Oh, there's a couple
you
recipes in
can.
it.
I was wondering what to have for lunch, so.
Oh,
I can
dear.
try and send the canal pictures too.
With the, that was before it wasn't it?
Ah.
Yeah, you took the picture of the canal before.
Yeah. iPads are pretty handy.
So any
Yeah,
thoughts
it
about that silt there?
Um,
I mean, I think we wanna go take a look at it.
yeah, I wanted to do that for sure. Wonder if do we need to check with planning or?
It's not a plan issue, it's a
Yeah, that's, isn't that why they have to
It's,
get that three
dirt
times?
issue.
It's a floodplain issue.
Probably more of a park board discussion. Bring the request up. We have a Lake County Park Board, a citizen board, and they're advisory to the commissioners, so it's probably, we will want to bring your request to them, so we could get some feedback from them. And they might have some other ideas or
Right.
thoughts.
Right.
They would make a recommendation to the commissioners, you know, regarding your request. Now, we don't have to, we're not bound to what their recommendation is,
Right.
but, you know, we use it for,
Yeah, it's good to have
Guidance.
all that input.
and the park boards, we've got a good group of people on the park board. And I'm sure a couple of them would probably go up there and take a look at the site and,
They love a field trip.
yeah, they field trips. So.
I mean, I definitely entertain it. I just want to make sure that,
Yeah, I do too. I can completely understand the problem with trying to get rid of it somewhere and really driving the cost of the whole project up.
Hmm.
Yeah, it gets messy because even though it's winter time and it's frozen, it's still a little sloshy, you know, and so you got a problem with getting it on the road and
Yeah.
cleaning up the road and all that kind of stuff. But I think if the park board would come out there, you know, we could at least talk to them about the fact that we could sure make it look a lot better, make it look a lot more like a park,
Yeah.
if we could get rid of what's there now.
Probably gonna take a few minutes for that to come through, but we'll wait for it.
Well, that would give them a chance to look at the canal and, you know, the site itself. I don't know if any of the park board members have ever been to that particular piece of property, probably
I
not.
doubt it, yeah.
It's kind of a little hidden away.
We spend most of our time over on Rainbow Drive. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know if you're familiar with that.
They're a little bit more demanding. Oh, you know.
It's-
Yeah, we're more easygoing on our side. But is that, the property next to us, is that like a park kind of designation or is
Yeah,
it just county property?
well, it's county property. I don't know if it was a set aside when the subdivision was done.
I'll tell you that down below. if it's-
I was thinking I could check that,
Some of these were set asides, when the property was, maybe the subdivision was done.
Mhm.
So this is 91, it's deeded, so it's deeded to the county. But it's not a public reserve. It's not a village strip.
I think when that was all divided up there, they had to have some access to the lake. And, in the old days, it used to be very common to part of the process, being able to do a subdivision or something
Oh,
like that.
okay.
You had
Open
to
area.
give them land for a park or an access or something like that.
Yeah, 'cause I think it was Stoltz that owned it, or
Yeah.
Stoltz Lumber, and they're the ones that did all that. And that actually, that piece of property is quite large. And I think it's the whole, I guess I would say the east side of, Songbird.
It's like,
It's more than just that corner, it's that,
It's 2.026 acres.
oh, okay. So maybe it doesn't go all the way to the end.
well, see, it's kind of, the way it's laid out is there's the Songbird comes off of Sunburst
Right,
in that little loop there, and that section land in between the two doesn't come up as on cadastral, you can't pull up ownership on it.
oh, really?
No,
But there's a certificate of survey. Uh,
Can't do what? You can't pull what?
but it looks like the access to the water's 80 to 90 feet wide.
Hmm.
That's what we call the county property next to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it may not be that whole, it may not be that whole. Or maybe, so you're saying it doesn't even show ownership on the part that we're talking about?
No.
Like it doesn't show
No,
county
cadastral
ownership?
doesn't no, it doesn't,
Wow.
but our research shows it's deeded, but that little section of land in between
Songbird and Sunburst?
and Sunburst doesn't show anything.
Huh?
Huh, well, maybe we'll just forget this and go dump it.
Nobody owns it. Oh, interesting.
uh,
Yeah,
But cadastral is only accurate for tax purposes is what they tell you.
Oh, okay. Okay, you're clear.
Yeah, there's a lot of, inaccurate information. Uh-oh, here comes the big book.
and heavy.
Here comes the big book.
Well, if they have this spot right, I think I do.
Actually looked into
Oh.
selling some of these properties.
You know, when we bought our house, we were told.
Isn't that right, the right spot?
Yeah, that's it. It's showing
But
county.
it shows a park, but it just said on the GIS, it was just deeded.
Yeah, well, that's
So
what I
did
was
they
looking at too.
declare it parkland?
I
at
don't
some
know,
point?
because I've been, if you look back here, I think this is the same piece, but I can't be for certain. Is that the same piece here?
Oh, it's right there.
Yeah, so there's notes on there from, I don't know how long ago, this thing is 1994.
This area is not as large as it appears on this map. The access road is closer to the highway than appears here. It is rather thickly forested with no development.
Used to be.
Well, it doesn't show the access to the river.
Yeah. But this one is, that doesn't have any acreage there. 27,900 square feet. But that's, not even an acre. But this says 3.68 or 3.86.
But if you look.
But it
at
also
this,
goes
it would be
all
this
the way
way.
down
Right.
to, yeah. I think they just don't have highlighted on this one.
Yeah. So let's see, both of these
No, it's
pieces.
this one and then,
It doesn't show this piece. That one doesn't.
Yeah, those property lines are all weird because they're not that defined with straight lines.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're probably more like that.
Yeah,
for that
exactly.
jog.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I don't know, maybe that's not the same, I mean, it looks like it
Well,
looks.
this is Swan Lake Highway here.
This was probably the original plat. One
Yeah.
state's number one, and then it's obviously been
I don't know if it's the same
It might not,
property.
it might not be the same property.
I don't think it's. the
Swan
same.
Side's number one, Songbird Parks, Heather and Highlands,
I'm with
so.
you. I don't think.
So here's another one that we have, we don't.
Yeah.
We don't know about. I think it
Looks
is.
like that one there,
Uh-huh,
but
yeah,
A little bit, but then looking at the other properties, it's sure not.
no,
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think that's it.
because we do have. They're in Swan Lake in the town site.
Yeah, I think those are two different spots.
Yes. Yeah, we've looked at declaring some of these properties surplus, and in fact, we had one of them appraised and surveyed and taking bids on the property
Oh, really?
in
Yeah.
Pablo.
I think Rochelle started to tell you that when we bought our property back in probably like 98, the realtor told us that the county would probably be willing to sell us that one, but then it didn't turn out to be.
Yeah, and every couple of years I just check and try to find out if there's any interest in selling, and they said not at that time.
The county said at that time?
Well, the realtor told us when we bought the property
Oh.
that they would be interested in selling it, and then when we followed up, they go, no, they're not interested.
Well, when you talk about access to the water, there's a lot of that the county can't legally sell. There's
Oh,
restrictions on it.
Okay,
oh, that makes sense.
Cutting off public access.
okay, yeah,
That makes sense.
uh-huh,
Yeah, some of the other pieces, like out on Finley Point, we have like 3 tracks that are like in the interior part of the point. There's no lake access. Nobody ever uses them. They just sit there.
Right.
And we
Would that
talked
be-
about,
and could that be something to do with this piece of property too, is it is lake access?
Yeah.
So they would be willing to get involved in this, dredging? I
Who
mean,
would be willing?
well, I mean, the county can see the benefit to their property too,
Oh,
by dredging this, cause they are lake access. At
Well, we
least
could
until
support-
July.
We could support a grant, but financially this year, the county's in about as tight a condition as I've seen it the whole time I've been a commissioner, so.
hey, you say in not good position?
Are good.
Well, we're not in a bad position. We just don't have any extra money this year
Okay, okay.
at all.
so this is the,
This is the canal.
okay,
That's the canal, yeah, and that's the one that comes down to, you can see it's pretty shallow, and it just comes down to almost nothing, in about a month and a half.
Especially this year.
yeah, yeah.
Drought, oh my.
Well, I'm sure the park board would, be willing to go up there and take a look at it and, they're pretty resourceful. They have some good ideas,
Yeah, they do.
suggestions, and,
Well, that would be fine with us.
when's our next park board
I
meeting?
think it's the first week of August. We didn't have one last month, so
So we
it
can
would be like the
definitely
4th, I think, 3 or 4th.
put it on the agenda. If you folks wanted to come down, you're certainly welcome to come. We can save your photos and,
Good, glad you were able to do that.
Yeah, we're gonna be, out of town from the 1st to the 17th, so we couldn't do it, but one of the other property owners that I'm sure that he would love to attend.
Yeah.
So, if that could be worked out, you could tell us if it was
Yeah.
on the agenda, and
Pass that on
then,
to them.
I could pass it on to them, and they would definitely come.
That second one we looked there at is different. Heather Ann Lane is a completely different one.
And where is that at? I mean, how far
It's
from?
farther down the lake.
Uh,
I
Didn't
think
even know
it's
it
right
was a
in the
thing.
town site of,
Swan
close
Lake,
to the town site of Swan Lake. So the first Thursday in August, right, is the park board? Not sure what,
It
and
is
we meet at 1:30,
the 1st of August,
1st of
actually.
August.
and it's here?
It's here. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to write that down.
Office first planning department.
I will, touch base with the park board members, make sure that we're still having a meeting. And I'll
Okay.
email you.
And it's on
Okay.
the agenda, huh?
That would be great.
We didn't get anything scheduled for tomorrow. I was kind of hoping to get up to the Swan because I wanted to look at the park across from the search and rescue and fire hall and stuff there too.
Well, if you do get up that way, we should give you our phone number. We're leaving town on the 1st, but
Why don't you
if
give
you're
me,
there between now and the 1st, I'd like to meet you out there.
what's your phone number?
I have 406-250-8326.
Okay,
Maybe not tomorrow, Bill, but you have Thursday open.
or Thursday's what I.
Yeah, okay.
I thought today was Wednesday.
It feels like Wednesday.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I think we can go ahead and recess.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
Is there, but I was just curious about, can we find out who's in charge of that property next to us?
you mean if there is a lease or like
Yeah.
they used to be?
Yeah.
Well, any lease we had is long expired.
Oh, it
So,
has,
yeah.
okay. So,
Also,
so that's a
it
county
hasn't,
property.
hasn't been.
No,
renewed.
yeah, that lease was done when Patty Trussell was still a commissioner. And
Okay. All right. And as far as the tree goes, living tree.
They're gonna wait for it to fall on our house. I
I
just hope I'm
can't
not.
remember, did Commissioner Stipe get a quote from somebody from?
Yeah, it was like $12,000 or something.
Well, we sent you one,
Yeah.
it was 5.
Oh, maybe, yeah, I don't remember the 5,000, but the one I remember Dave, something about like 12 to 16 grand for the tree. I was like,
Yeah, it's a big one.
yeah, it must be.
It is, it's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, yeah, we sent, a couple from Skylar, wasn't his name Skylar?
Yeah,
Was working on trees for us, and he said,
he's a really nice guy, but, in fact, I still have it, I could resend you that. You know,
Just for reference.
yeah, just for,
well, we could contact him and see what it would be now.
Yeah.
Well, the park board could take a look at it too,
Exactly.
as a board.
okay, hey,
All right, I'm gonna close the.
Hey.
thank you very
you're in
much.
recess.